Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video is a comparison of black inks that I have that are on the market today. The only one that may not be as readily available is this India ink. It's a wonderful ink. Now I've listed some headings here, archival, and I only put archival there because they're usually in the description of or the name of the ink. And then we have a pigment, a solvent, so it's used for, marketed to be used with the alcohol markers, and then finally the India ink, so you can have a view of how rich the color is with that. So to do the markings, I'm using a Paper Smooches one, and it's called Mirror Blocks. So the first one I'm going to do is this Ranger Archival Ink. It is a linen pad. So here's the Ranger. Nice black. That's that. Stampin' Up. Now I know that not everybody has this. I bought it because people were raving about it. This too is a linen pad. Just want to make sure that this is dry, and it is. So this here is also a linen pad, and we will put this right here. I'm just holding it down. As I said, I've got these self-inflicted mounds on my self-healing craft mat, totally self-inflicted, and so we've got a little bit there that lifted up, but we're going to leave that and move on. It gives you enough to know what the color's like. So we will use the VersaFine. VersaFine is, let me see, kind of feels like a cross between a foam and a linen pad. If I can get this, might be time to get a new one here, but hopefully we can get this done before I have to replace it. Okay, so here is our VersaFine spot. So I'm going to put that in there. Apply pressure to the center. There we go. So now our next one up is this, Simon Says Stamp Black Premium Pigment Ink. Let's see if you can see that better. Premium Pigment Ink. You don't, if you're wondering the number, it is number 67, ink 67 for Simon Says. Now this is a foam pad, which is different than what we've been using. And now that's going to go here under the pigment. And we're going to apply the pressure with this one as well. So there we have these few done. Now the solvent, I have 4 different ink pads for that one. So that's our pigment. So top down we have Memento, Tuxedo, black. And this one tells you right away that it is fade resistant, and it is for alcohol markers. Lots of people use them for alcohol markers. So let's get that. This too is a linen pad, and make sure that's dry. It is. And so we're going to ink this stamp up here, and it is going to go right here. Pardon my hands, but it's a little hard to stamp without using your hands. So the next one up will be your next stamp, and this one here is called Black Olive Ink, and it says on here that it's great for your alcohol markers. So let's see how that does. So that's one up, and this one too is a linen pad. It's raised. Make sure all the moisture is off the stamp. This is going to go right down here. The next one is the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black. And this is right on the front for solvent and alcohol markers. And this too is a linen pad. So this is the Intense Black. That's going to go right here. And we'll cover that up. And then finally, from the solvent ones, we're going to use the MFT Extreme. This is brand new on the market, and it's brand new to me too. Today is my first day using it. And we want to see how great it thing is. The MFT Extreme, which is right here. And this too is also a raised linen pad. Make sure we get good coverage. And that's going to go right here. And then our final one is the India ink. And we'll lift that up. Last one is the India ink Memories Premium Ink Pad by Stewart Superior. And this too is a raised linen pad. Let's get that full of ink. And this goes right up here in this top section. And now we're going to put the top on this one. Make sure we've got good pressure. And pick that up. Here are the stamps. When you see them farther, you can see the changes in the color. And here we have one that's dried for probably 20 minutes or so. So the Ranger Jet Black has even coverage and it's nice and dark. And then the Stampin' Up has more of a, this is more flat and this has more of a shine to it. I'm not too sure if you can see that. Yeah, there you can see that. And then we have the Simon Says Pigment. And side by side here you can see that the pigment, Simon Says Pigment, tends to be just a little bit darker than the Versifying. And then we have the Memento, which is real bluish black. You can see that clearly next to this other black. And it might even be easier to see on the aged one. The Your Next stamp is a black, but it's lighter, which the camera lens might look just a touch darker. But when you see them straight on, there's really not much difference. I suppose it is a tad darker, but as you can see, it's very minute. And then, of course, we have the Memories or Stewart India ink, which is dark, and you can see that this black is different than this black in color. Can you see that? Maybe not. The lens might not pick it up, but it's ever so slightly. So yes, we've got some light ones here, and we've got some darker ones depending on how dark you want your stamp lines to be. This is the aged one here, and then this is just the one we've just done. So let's have a look at that one. So as you can see, the Extreme and the Intense are pretty darn close, as are the Stampin' Up and the Ranger, except that the Ranger is more of a matte finish and the Stampin' Up! Definitely has a shine to it. And then the Pigment Inks are very close. This is a different black than this pigment, or it appears to be. This appears to be more of a brownish gray, and this one a different color. This is like a bluish black. So there's probably, you know, if you're mixing paint, there's more French ultramarine in there than there is of anything else. So much for joining me today and taking time out of your very busy day to spend it with me. Bye-bye.